Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Idaho Business Podcast. We are here with Harrison Tanner. Harrison, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Beautiful. So Harrison is one of those social media experts when it comes down to sales, techniques, and processes. This guy is the man you need to talk to when it comes to creating success online for your business. He started his own Baron Media Group. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
He's founded his own business. He's has the highest level of media services possible out there, and he is just well versed from YouTube to Instagram to all the other platforms out there. So, including TikTok now.
I just broke I think a video with like 25,000 views and just growing on there as well.
Beautiful. Well, cool. Welcome again, Harrison.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Well, before we begin, we have to have a sponsorship timeout. We have Dell's Outdoor Advertising sponsors our podcast. These guys are local here in Idaho, and they are best with the traditional and digital billboard space. Give them a call. And if you mention that you heard about them on the podcast, you will get your first month for free or your installation for free if you sign up for at least a 3-month deal with them. So give Rob a call at 208-232-6886, and he will make the magic happen for you and your business as well. So even though we're going to talk about digital marketing here, I still think there's some great success you can have with some billboards out there as well. So, okay.
Love it.
Harrison, first of all, where are you from?
Originally from Long Island, currently in North Carolina. Bought a house down here and living in an RV in my backyard right now.
Oh, beautiful. Doing some renovations of the house?
That is correct. Yep. So we're RV living for a little while.
Yeah, I experienced that. Not the RV living, but living in my house while they remodeled it. That is not something for the faint of heart.
No, definitely not.
Well, hopefully you get some fun additions onto the house. It's always nice to get your say here and there. Are you married?
No.
Oh, well, then
not
you
married.
Can do anything you want then to your remodel.
We're not going too crazy, but it's so I'm excited to get back into it.
Very cool, man. Well, let's start off. How did you get into the business? What interested you so much about the social media and the sales and all that fun stuff?
Yeah. So originally when I first started my business, I had seen I was working for a tech company and I was giving away a ton of business to a digital marketing agency, and that digital marketing agency just wasn't doing the right thing by their customers. And what I mean by that is I was giving them a lot of business and I just assumed that people needed websites, and I didn't know if they were upselling services or anything like that. It turned out that they were upselling services, and nothing bad. I think all businesses should make money. But the problem I had was they were working with, let's just say divorce lawyers, right? And I was sending over divorce lawyers because basically every business on this planet needs IT services at this point. And it turns out that they were doing like SEO and Google ads for all 5 of these businesses that were all located within a couple miles of each other. And I was like, wow, this is really, really unethical. I bet you. And started talking to them about what they were doing and why they were doing it and services that they were offering. And it turns out that a lot of businesses weren't offering social media services. So I started out my business running people's social media, and I went out there, I would take videos, post stuff, really just trying to do everything I possibly could to help people build their online digital presence. And I started learning more about Instagram, learning more about Facebook, learning more about LinkedIn. Twitter's great, but you can't really hire out Twitter. And that's kind of that was the kickoff to starting my own business. And I just found people that were like, hey, you know, we like what you got going on here, and we'll take the leap of faith and jump on with you.
Very cool. Very cool. So you've been doing it for is it four plus years? How many years now at this point?
Yeah, just broke the 4-year mark last month. So just going on to year 5 now.
Very cool, man. I like to hear that. It's always good to hear, businesses that are starting out continue to do well and continue to thrive. So, well, awesome. What's your favorite part about the business?
There's a lot. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad with businesses. I would say my favorite part about businesses is the effect that you have on other people's. I don't want to say livelihood but it is. It's not only their business, but a lot of it comes home with them, and it's a lot of how they feel, right? So, a lot of businesses struggle with the social media aspect of it, and it's either getting the name out, or it's just even a lot of it's consistency. And at this point, I look at myself kind of like a gym coach almost, but we do a lot of the work for clients, and now we've also gotten into a lot of the coaching of, hey, this is what you should be posting, what's your strategy, what happens now after the initial social media attraction here. And it's really interesting to see how people, especially some of my earlier clients, they went from literally nothing to you know being approached regularly, not so much on the street, but from either industry insiders or competitors. And it was just super cool to hear their side of what we were doing. It was for great example, one of my earliest clients was a mortgage broker, and he was constantly out in the Hamptons on Long Island, which huge houses, crazy wealthy people. And it was just he was like, he was starting to develop business from his mainly from LinkedIn, but on top of that, he was getting recognized by the industry, which arguably is almost more important, because now he was being sought after to be brought over, which made him much more desirable. On top of that, it was growing his business. So it's the impact that it has with people's businesses, but also their personal life, and just kind of seeing what grows out of it.
I like it. I like it. Are all let's just maybe zero in on just the social media aspect things. Maybe outside of LinkedIn for a minute. Now, does social media advertising and all that kind of stuff work for every type of business?
I used to say no, but I've been proven wrong pretty recently. I think that you're crazy if you don't do something, and I'll rope in content as well, because it doesn't have to necessarily be social media, because now there's a lot of blurred lines with TikTok. You can make videos, you have YouTube, you can make videos, you have your personal website where you can create content. You have to go out there and create content, and if you're not doing it, you're losing the race. And I used to say, like, oh, you know what, posting on Instagram, posting on Facebook is good, but and LinkedIn. But now I'm starting to see, Scrub Daddy just broke 1 million followers on TikTok. There's a company by the name of Dano's Seasoning. They're extremely popular on on TikTok, and he actually duetted my video the other day. His video just hit 120,000 views, and I'm the one starting it off, which is crazy to think about, right? And he talks about how he was doing business prior to launching on TikTok, and he was going to do $500,000 the year he really invested in TikTok, and the pandemic started, and the pandemic helped him well into the 7-figure mark. Wow. With TikTok, and creating a seasoning brand off of, I don't want to say it was off of TikTok, because he had the foundation of a successful business previously, but he even mentions it in the video. He goes, TikTok is what made my business go viral, and that's the coolest part about it.
Very cool. I like it. So it's huge, for national brands, it's huge. But what about like local brands, that aren't servicing a national audience?
Yeah, people search hashtags still. People are still on Instagram. People are still on Facebook. I think if you're not on Facebook for your business, you're missing the boat. For local advertising on Facebook, it's a no-brainer. A lot of my clients have social media accounts for power washing companies, for landscaping businesses, for cleaning services, even real estate agents. At this point, how could you not afford to be creating content even for your local small business? Yes, you might not be able to sell your services to a company across the country, and I'm using Long Island and North Carolina as a reference here, but you there's still tons of opportunities that people don't think about, right? With social media, we just went to a dessert expo, right? And all of these dessert vendors are all local to Charlotte, which is where I live now, and almost none of them put their logo on anything, right? But you can ship desserts, right? Okay, you might not be able to cut somebody's lawn in California, but you can recommend a lawnmower and you can get paid for it. You can recommend grass seed and get paid for it. You can, if you're a gardener, right, you can recommend gardening tools. If you're an arborist, right, and you service your local area, you can recommend chainsaws. You can recommend different homeopathic ways to kill a tree, to cut down a tree, to axes that you recommend. I mean, people think such small scale, and a lot of it's because they don't know. But by you creating content, yes, you might not be able to go cut their lawn, but I promise you that if you show that you're an authoritative figure, you can recommend them a lawnmower and get paid by Home Depot, Lowe's, or Amazon. You can recommend weed eaters, you can recommend fertilizer, you can recommend, I mean, the list goes on and on and on, that people literally never think about.
I like that. Do you have to have a large following to be able to get paid by those people when you recommend them?
So Amazon, no. Lowe's and Home Depot, yes. They're definitely a bit more picky, but there's also, my pressure washing company has a chemical business, right? And they sell the chemicals that they use, right, that they've proven work online. So just because, people think, well, maybe you're not at that point yet, and that's totally fine. But if you build a big enough presence through your social media channels, you could sell your products to anybody in the world. I worked with a detailing company on Long Island, and they sold their own products, and their products were tried and true and tested, and they're putting them on Bugattis and Lamborghinis and literally the highest of end cars out there. Those owners trust that product implicitly. These professionals trust that product implicitly. What's to stop them from selling that product to Canada, Mexico, South America, Europe, right? Like the only barriers there are shipping, but I'll call it the lower 48 states, it's fair game. There's more than enough money in those lower 48 states to have a business that is unbelievably well off for the rest of your life and future generations.
I like that. So let's go back to content a little bit. You're talking about, make content, have some good content. And I'm sure there's plenty of business owners that are listening right now that are thinking, I've seen those TikTok videos. I've seen those crazy videos and people are having fun and they're doing crazy things. But that's just not me. That's not who I am. What kind of content is relevant out there that people want to see?
If you're a business, you got to make, I don't want to say educational content, but you got to provide value, right? Think about people buy for four main reasons: pain in the present, pain in the future, pleasure in the present, and pleasure in the future. Nobody buys anything without one of those four. It's proven. Any which way you think about a purchase, that's the defining factor, right? So yes, people might not think about, might not find you entertaining, but for example, right, I just bought a house. So now all of a sudden I have a massive interest in plumbing. I have a massive interest in woodworking. I have a massive interest in maybe not so much electrical because I don't want to deal, God forbid, I don't want anything bad to happen, but there's, even gardening, landscaping, right? So you can teach people how you do it. You can show people before and afters. You can show people the process, right? As long as your content is engaging and entertaining, it doesn't particularly matter. Or you teach something that adds massive value to somebody. So I tell everybody, I go, I'm not the most exciting person in the world online. I'm really not. And I wish I was. But when I make content, you're like, oh, okay. But my value is huge. And I regularly get comments on my Facebook video, or not Facebook, YouTube videos where it's like, I don't understand how you're not famous, because the quality of the content is incredible. The engagement is pretty low. But if you need to learn something, I'm the guy that's not going to try to sell you at the end of a video. I'm the kind of person that's going to show you, and I talk about it all the time, is the dirty secrets that a lot of these people don't talk about on TikTok, right? I just watched another guy and he was like, oh, you could become an affiliate and you could run Amazon ad, you can run Google ads to your affiliate link and then you get paid on it. And while that is true, he avoids to tell people that you need to be an expert and spend thousands of dollars learning that skill and getting good at it before you can make the couple dollar margin that's involved in it. And I'm like, okay, well, hey, if you go run 1,000 miles this year, right, and you eat less calories than you take in, you're going to be skinny. Like, obviously, right? But they don't tell you the work that's involved and the meals that's involved. And they do. That's the thing that I hate about social media. And that's what people really, really love. But if you want to get crazy value, you'll find those people. They're typically going to be less engaging. They're typically going to be less exciting to watch, but they're going to provide you crazy value that will have a massive impact on the right audience.
Exactly. You know, if you're a landscaper, you know, wouldn't you recommend like come make a video with like three reasons why your lawn's yellow or something, you know, stuff like that. Like
exactly. And by you being a master at your craft, you're going to find all of these prime examples of a video, right? It's killing me right now because I'm living out of my RV to not have a studio and to make videos, but like there's so many things that you do every single day that you take completely for granted that the vast majority of people either have no idea about, are curious to learn more about, or are just interested in knowing about it, whether or not they take action.
Exactly. So even if you think, this is super boring, no one would want to know, guarantee you there's people out there who want to know.
Well, out there, like I one of my most successful videos is like what to do on LinkedIn after you get a job, right? Like that's so boring, right? Nobody, I don't want to say nobody would care because the analytics prove otherwise, but like that's such a boring topic on like what you should do on LinkedIn, but yet it's my most successful video. It consistently gains thousands of views a month. People are always getting jobs. People are interested in learning how to clean up their LinkedIn, and I don't have I don't want to say the sales sauce to be like, oh, come buy my thing afterwards, right? I don't have anything to sell you because you're probably not my ideal customer, but it's really important for you to know about it.
Like it. Well, good, man. I really appreciate what we're talking about now, and I'm sure there's others out there that are thinking, geez, there's some actions I need to be making right now. So, well, let's move into the lightning round here. Lightning round is sponsored by my company. You just mentioned cleaning services. I am a commercial cleaning company called New Clean Commercial Cleaning. And if you call or just go to our website at nuclean.com, NUCLEANE, sign up for a janitorial solution huddle call. And just for signing up and saying that you heard about us on the podcast, you'll get your restrooms, your grout, and your tile cleaned absolutely for free. That's the podcast offer. And if you don't like us after that, you don't even like the color in my eyes or the person that that's servicing you, you don't have to do anything else with us. But there you go, New Clean Commercial Cleaning. So let's move on here. What in the lightning round? Let's get to it. Is there a favorite book or tool that you've used or software that's just kind of been a game changer for you?
There's been many, but I would say the most important thing is in whatever business is go find the content that isn't super flashy, because that's probably it's probably the best information possible. There's a couple people I follow. There's a lot of the gurus out there that are all looking to just get you into their funnel and sell you a course afterwards. And then there's the experts that know what they're talking about that just don't care to make their stuff flashy because they just do a really good job of what they do, and their whole business isn't about trying to sell digital products. Some of the most successful people that I've seen are sub 20,000, 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. Some of them even sub 1,000 subscribers on YouTube because they don't they're not worried about how are they going to keep their online business going. They already have all their customers. They're just trying to provide crazy value. And there is no book. It's find those people and watch everything that they're doing and leave comments, because they're going to make response videos. They're going to teach you everything that they're doing. There's very few people on the internet that I would say go take their advice for. It's usually the smaller creators who don't have those super catchy, headlines or whatever it is, and follow what they're doing and learn from them. That is going to, because especially, and the reason why I'm saying that is because the technology is changing all the time. What I used, I started out using Hootsuite, then I went to Buffer. Now I'm on a program called Social Champ, and I don't know what the future is going to hold, right? And podcasts are essentially timeless. But if you go look at the experts that are making an impact now at the time of you listening to this and watch what they're using, they're probably using it for a reason. So any products I could possibly recommend, while they may be very great now, they're probably not going to be amazing in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But if you go find those experts, they will show you what's trending and what's popular and what's good and why now.
Okay. I love it. Next question. Biggest myth business owners need to know the truth about?
That they need to focus more on marketing than they ever thought. Growing a business by referrals and word of mouth is great, but it's not sustainable. You need to have a lead generating machine. And I would even argue to say, and it's not because I'm in marketing, this is something I realized even long before this, but you need to have a steady flow of new leads and new potential customers all the time. Because if you don't know when that next sale is going to come. You can't forecast when the next time you're going to close a deal is. And on top of that, it's also going to limit you in your potential sales growth of saying, hey, you know what? I'm at my 100% capacity. It's time to raise my rates, right? Or fire some of the less profitable clients, right? It sounds crazy, but a lot of companies that, oh, well, I'm getting referred out, which is fantastic. And I love hearing that. But you need to be focusing on getting new leads in and growing your email list like it is your last chance to survive. Because when you have that, then you can also sell the business. It's really a business. If you're just built on word of mouth and growing because you're the guy or the person that everybody likes, if you ever try to sell the business or get to your exit strategy, you're worth nothing because you are the business. You have to build the business. A business is a system of processes and procedures typically written down that anybody could follow and be successful. And when you do that, think of McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, right? And whether or not you like any of these places, they're super McDonald's, I don't know if you've ever seen their ketchup thing. They squeeze a little thing and drops out 5 little drops of ketchup, 5 little drops of mustard, 5 little drops of mayonnaise. That way, the exact same sandwich you have in Maine is the exact same sandwich you're going to have in Hawaii. That is a real business. So whatever it takes for you to get there, go do that and make sure you have a steady flow of new customers.
You're speaking wisdom. You're speaking truth right now. I love it. It's good stuff. What's one question I should have asked that I did not? What would be your answer?
What follows the initial social media outreach?
Okay.
A lot of people, creating content is great. I'm a big fan of automating everything, especially if you're growing on social media. It doesn't matter what size of a business you are, you're going to get to a point where you can't respond to all of the messages. You need to have some level of autonomy in place. There's programs like ManyChat out there. ManyChat's just a popular one, but there's so many programs out there that will help automate the process. You should have chat trees or decision trees, right? If you go and whatever website it is and see that little blurb on the bottom, right? You can basically build that into social media. Have something that gets, if you're a consultant or you need to meet with somebody one-on-one, have an auto response saying, hey, thanks so much for reaching out. If you want to get a hold of, Spencer or Mike or Harrison, right? Whoever it is, have a meeting link, a 30-minute meeting link. You should have hours set aside every single day to jump on those calls, right? And grab some information. What's their first name, last name, email address, phone number? What is the purpose of our call? Is it to become an affiliate? Is it to make a sale? Is it for them to buy your service? Is it for them to pitch you their service, right? get all that information, and then you could always cancel on them, whatever you feel is necessary afterwards. But get that contact information and then start to become autonomous. Every single thing, your email campaigns should be almost autonomous. Spend 2 or 3 hours on a Monday, build out all your email campaigns for the week, schedule them all out. Do it once a week or once a month. I know somebody that sits on a Monday, they do all of their stuff the entire month, then they release it throughout the entire month, and they only spend 1 day of working on that. Whatever, find the system that works for you and go implement it, because you sitting there and DMing people or responding back to messages, especially that are providing zero value when you should be focusing on client work or growing or getting more people into your pipeline, is way more important. So go do that first. Get everything, focus on your SEO, focus on your local representation, create more content, and then build a system and autonomize it as much as possible. And that's when you're going to start to really crush it and get to that next level.
Dude, I love it. You're talking about a lot of things that we've talked about on this podcast a lot, is automation, having processes in place, running your business as if you want to sell it later on, beautiful
Not
stuff.
to go in with it, getting rid of it, think about how you're going to get rid of it and what your exit strategy is. And it might be, for me, it's 20 years down the road, right? But I still have to think about every single day, what is going to make my business worth more money to somebody when I sell it, so that way I can cash out with a fatter check.
That's right. Exactly. We don't want to work until we die, guys. Let's put some processes and some systems into place so we can find some happiness beyond our professional lives as well. So, well, man, I appreciate it, Baron. This has been huge. Good information we've had today, and I would just
I appreciate it.
So I really appreciate it, Harrison. That's pretty much it, guys. You heard the man, Harrison. If people are thinking this guy knows what he's talking about, I'd love to maybe learn more from him, or maybe even hire him. Are you taking on new clients right now?
I have always looking. I always try to find a good fit. You can find me either on my personal website, harrisonbaron.com, Baron Media Group. We're just in the process of rebranding, so you can go to growth-generators.com as well. If you go to baronmediagroup.com, it's still going to bring you there. And that's really it. If you want to get a hold of me, reach out on either one of those. I'd be happy to, spend a little time with you on the phone and see where you're at in business, see where I might be able to help, and we'll go from there. Beautiful.
Well, I appreciate you being on guest today, Harrison, and thanks for all your wisdom and advice. I got a lot out of it today, and I'm sure our listeners got a ton out of it. You're a brilliant mind out there, man. So I appreciate your wisdom.
Thanks, Spencer. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So, and all those that are listening, just remember, get out there, go dominate your day, stay away from those negative Nancy's. Find that circle of people that you want to stay around and that are influencing you to be better and motivating you to be a better person. So that's what I have to say. And until next time, you guys all have a fantastic day and week. And thanks again, Harrison.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.